about that is make it hurt.
Breaking news. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Big Time Show podcast, a very impromptu podcast on this evening, but I feel like I better show up because of breaking news that has just happened. Just came across my phone and might as well put it out there to calm some of Cowboy Nation down before everybody keep speculating and all that. It's almost to the point where Cowboy fans need a therapy session just about every day. We're depressed. It's just no question about it. The way things happen for us, it was totally ridiculous. As you come in, hello to everybody. To those that are speaking and some of you that are not speaking, who's watching, I appreciate y'all popping in. Feel free to comment in the chat. I would just like to speak to you personally, though. If you took just a little time to come in, I would love for you guys to just pop in and I can say hello to you. Like Terry and Stephen Porter, what is going on? I'll get to that in just a second, Terry. But for those that have come in, listen, there's might as well get this little stuff out the way before we talk. Will not be long as y'all make me stay here long. But if you want to contribute to the podcast, you see it there. $, the Big Time Show. Then also, if you're on Facebook, either one of the pages, you can obviously contribute to the podcast by using those stars. If you're watching by YouTube, you can use the super chat. And then, of course, I'm on Twitter and Twitch Live now as we speak. It will not be long. If you have any type of notifications on your phone that's Cowboy related, you probably just saw what I saw. And I'm here to, before everybody start cranking it up tomorrow, we might as well just go ahead and cry now, get it out the way. It never fails. Whatever you think the Cowboy fan base wants, or what most of the direction of the national media of what the Cowboys should do, we ought to know by now as a fan base that the Cowboys always do the total opposite of what most people think that we should do. Anthony Jefferson, what's up? Darryl Brownlee, what's going on? Mr. Burns, how you doing, sir? Terry again, what's going on? Stephen Porter again, what's going on? Um, if you have it on your phone, you already know what I'm getting ready to say. This is breaking news. Adam Scheffner. This comes from his reporting. And pretty much the only reason why I'm coming on is because Adam Scheffner said it. Usually when he says stuff, it's just about 100% accurate. And if it's not 100, it's about 90, 99, 98, no question. Well, he reports that the Dallas Cowboys have made a decision that Coach McCarthy will coach this team next year. And I appreciate you, Mr. Burns. Coach McCarthy will be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys again for next season. And we'll get into why and why not. And I'm quite sure a lot of you may be mad. But I think I said it on my show at least 2 shows ago or whatever, that, I kind of had a feeling this is the way that it was going to kind of turn out. I know I said if I had a choice, I would move another direction, but once you really get out of your emotion and think about why would you let him coach again, then you might come to a slightly different agreement. But for those that just joining in, Coach McCarthy will return, according to Adam Scheffner from ESPN. He will return as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys for the 2024-25 season. So, with that being said, we can put your dreams of Coach Belichick, dreams of Coach Harbaugh, the dreams of Coach Vrabel, the dreams of whoever else y'all thought about. Go ahead and put it to bed. It's not going to happen. Coach McCarthy will be back next year. So on that note, while we all are still, not feeling numb because of what happened on last week with the Packers, we might as well get some of the thaws out. He does, John. I was about to go into detail. I think I told you that last week that he had another year on his contract, and he was going to get paid if you had fired him or not. So that means Jerry would have had to pay a new coach and then pay McCarthy as if he still is coaching. So he didn't extend him. He's just going to finish out his contract. I believe next year is his last year. So it's obvious that Coach McCarthy, I will be shocked now if Jerry extends him. I think he's going to keep that fire on them all next season, that you got to prove it. A prove year, and I would not be surprised if Dak Prescott as well plays again on a 1-year deal. It wouldn't be his first time. I'm firmly in the corner. Y'all been with me, heard on my show where I said that, hey, we ought to go ahead and extend that. And I'm still saying that even after the loss on Sunday, it is what it is. But Coach McCarthy, it did not make sense to pay 2 head coaches. Again, for those that are just joining in, Coach McCarthy looks like, according to reporting of Adam Scheffner from ESPN, says that Coach McCarthy will be back next season. If it was anybody else, I would not report it here. But Adam Scheffner is pretty much a guy who can be trusted when he puts stuff out, and I think we all know that. So I'm gonna lean on that 1,000% that Coach McCarthy will go get back. Somebody told Scheffner that from the inside, obviously, for him to put it out there this quick and fast. It is what it is. So we can go ahead and put to bed these dreams, all these coaches. Put it to bed. We got one major piece, and to be honest with you, keep in mind it was the national media and the fan base and the haters who said get rid of Coach McCarthy. I'm not sure that even entered into the mindset, or at least the mouth, of one Jerry Jones, and you can throw in Steve and everybody else. This is what the fan base wanted. This was what the national media said. Cowboys didn't say it. Cowboys didn't say it. I really didn't want to do all this, but
Call from Terry Turner.
Really didn't
to
want
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press
that.
2.
Terry's calling in already. Really didn't want to do that, but what's going on, Terry?
Hey, I just had a quick question for you.
Yeah.
The definition of insanity, isn't it doing the same old thing over and over and over, expecting a different result?
That's what it say. That's what it say. But it is what it is. But you gotta keep in mind.
We're supposed to be happy.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm numb. But like I said before, it really shouldn't be a surprise, to be honest with you, Terry, considering the past. I mean, Jason Garrett was supposed to have been gone at least 4 to 5 years before he actually got let go. But they held on to him and let him keep coaching. So this really is not a surprise to me. Whatever the fan base wants, whatever the national media starts saying, you can rest assured that the Cowboys are going to go the opposite direction. It never fails. It's not a surprise. But Jerry is also looking at the bottom line. That's money. I just don't think there's no way he's going to pay McCarthy's salary and then have to pay another coach another salary. It just don't make sense. He ain't gonna do it. And then the way that he's looking at it is, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry. Before I get to rolling, what's going on?
Oh, I was just listening because I know Arlington, Texas, will not see me this year, and the Cowboys, NFL shop, all that stuff. I didn't buy no jerseys and stuff this year, but now with McCarthy coming back, it's no way to be excited. Them boys came out so flat for the biggest game of the year, and you gonna bring back this doggone flat soda killer.
Yeah.
Man, let that joker go.
Yeah. And can't argue with that standpoint because what you just said is the truth. It is what it is. I appreciate you, Terry.
All right, I appreciate it. I just got to say,
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
My people wouldn't my people wouldn't let that go. He fixed that right away.
Yeah.
He should have been fired Sunday night.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Terry.
All right, now.
All right. And that response from Terry will be a lot of what the fan base says, and it is what it is. What this tells you is, remember I said, I don't know which show it was, is that when we start talking about this, and I'm not saying this in support of the decision that was made, but what I am saying is that a lot of people are basing their decision off of Sunday, and I guess you might even throw in the previous 2 playoff games. I get it, and that's not very soon. I believe that the Eagles coach Sirianni is going to get fired. And he just coming off of a Super Bowl last year, at least making it. But I believe the owner is going to fire him. He fired Doug Peterson after the Eagles won the Super Bowl with Nick Folk as a quarterback. He don't have no tolerance. Jerry, on the other hand, you know, we can talk almost here for about another 3 hours. Jerry is dedicated, number one. He's changed. He's changed a whole lot. He says he's a gambler. This was the chance to gamble. And I believe, you know, he didn't let it happen. He's gotten more conservative over the years, and he's become quite loyal to players and his guy. And he's also dedicated to trying to prove that his way is the right way. And he would love to point fingers at everybody and say, I told you so. But we got to be fair. I told you guys that I do my evaluation from a total body of work. Try it's hard, but you got to try to remove the emotion out. And when you really look at it, I already know what y'all gonna say. I get it. The playoffs. I understand. The salary cap doesn't have anything to do with the coaching salary adjustment. They don't have anything to do with that. So that's totally separate than the cap for the players. That's what they go by. You could pay Mike McCarthy $30 million and wouldn't be no big deal. Here's what the body of work says. Although when you guys are right, playoffs, big games, don't show up. The record is 13-15 over his tenure with teams with winning records. The Cowboys are 13-15. Playoffs, you know, lost 2 to the 49ers, lost the game against the Packers Saturday or Sunday, whatever day we played on. Those are the truth. But what you can't dismiss 3 back-to-back 12-5 seasons. Just can't dismiss that. I know what y'all gonna say. I understand. That's just regular season. I understand. But you can't dismiss it. You can't dismiss it. That's a part of the whole body of work. Only one man has more wins than him in the last 3 seasons. And that's Andy Reid from the Kansas City Chiefs. You know that some of that, and 36 wins ain't good enough because we feeling like we feeling now. I get it. I understand. I'm not saying you're wrong by saying the playoffs. I understand. But you can't dismiss it. And when you look at his overall thing, there's a lot of good on there. Okay, it is. If you want to take it further, even if you say, well, Kellen Moore was leading the offense back then, it was not. Let me just say it. He wanted to take over the offense. Coach McCarthy, he did. What happened? One offense in the league. I know it didn't turn out to mean nothing. I get it. I'm not gonna argue with you. I understand. But you can't dismiss it. Dak Prescott. I already know what you're saying. But look how he looked in the playoff game. I get it. That's not the whole body of work, though. The whole body of work is Dak probably had his best season this year. All pro, should probably be third or so in the MVP voting, and probably second. So I'm probably going to end up being second in the MVP vote. You can't, and it was because of his offense. So you can't. CeeDee Lamb, good Lord, dominant year. All came from Coach McCarthy. So you can't. He's been about consistent. He's developed a culture. We begging to get in the playoffs. We go 1 year and miss the next 2, come back and go to playoffs. He's developed a consistent culture here. And I know what y'all saying. Yeah, the culture of not winning in big games. I get it. No argument there. But at least obviously in the Jones mind, not in our mind, it's good enough to keep him around. So it done, we should have known this. I mean, I wasn't messed up about it. I know I had my choice of what I wanted, but no, the quarterback ain't going nowhere, kid. I guarantee that. The coach ain't going nowhere. Quarterback is not going anywhere. So we already know how this is going to end up. Now, Dan Quinn, on the other hand, I'm quite sure, I would bet and say that he's going to be gone. Don't need a defensive coordinator. That hasn't been confirmed yet. But I wouldn't be surprised since Coach McCarthy is going to be back. I wouldn't be surprised that if he's all in Dan Quinn here as well. I'm quite sure that, Jerry is going to be there. That, and the last thing that y'all said is, why are we going to run it back? I wouldn't be surprised that I wouldn't be surprised if nothing changes at all. Got a super chat here from Terry. Terry says, this ain't working, try something new. It works. It does work. But the question is, to what extent? It's working. Because we're a playoff team every year. That's something we're not used to. The double-digit win team every year. It's working. But it's not working to the extent that we want it to work. And Jerry, I guess, to work. See, I'm about realistic. I'm gonna say something to y'all. Y'all ain't gonna like it. You because most of y'all Cowboys fans again. Let me just go on and say this. And this don't sound bad, what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go ahead and just say that right now. This is what I'm gonna say. You see, for years, the title that we have acquired is we have probably the best talented roster in the league. We have acquired that, and it's probably the truth, especially after this year. You see what I'm saying? You got 9 All-Pros on this team. 9. You got about 15 Pro Bowlers. There ain't too many teams that can say that. We got 9 All-Pros, either first or second team. 9. Show me a team that got 9 All-Pros on their team. It's probably none. So the title of having the greatest roster is there. It's just the truth. And Jerry is the one at the beginning of the year saying, hey, appreciate you, Justin. He is the one that started saying the magical 2 words, especially after this year, Super Bowl. That's what we say. That's what he says. A lot of the fan base slightly think back, but I'm not one of them. See, this is what I'm saying. We need to stop talking Super Bowl. See, I told y'all. Y'all ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say. We need to learn to crawl before we walk. And that's the problem. With Cowboy fans and the way ESPN, try to pump us up and all that kind of stuff. We have to learn how to win. And see, right now, we're pretty much just a 1-win playoff team because we ain't winning past the division round, which means you don't won 2 in 1 year. So the way I look at it is we either one and done or we'll just win 1. And we steadily talking about Super Bowl. We ain't on that level. We just not on the we're not. I don't care how talented it is. Some type of way. It is you got 9 All-Pros, and now one of them, I said now one of them showed up on Sunday. One of them supposed to show up. One of them. And I ain't counting even the kicker missed the extra point or whatever it was. I'm serious. It's somebody supposed to do something. You got too many all pros on this thing. All of them can't have a bad game. Not all of them. Good Lord. Not all of them. But they did. So we talking Super Bowl, and you gonna hear some of this same stuff again next year. And I ain't got to wait to training camp when they have their first press conference. I mean, I already know what they're gonna say because they're running it back. It won't be the same team, but it's gonna be the same foundation. And you still gonna have the same coach. So what does that mean? Well, what does it mean? Well, expect the same penalties. Coach McCarthy has been the coach. Gonna be now for 5 years, I think now. What did it say? Dak got hurt that 1 year, then 3 back-to-back, so that's 4 years. This will be his 5th year. Okay. He still ain't figured out the penalty situation yet. He still got the same clock management issues. I mean, after a certain amount of time, you are what you are. We're going to have the same pre-snap penalty. I mean, this is what I've seen the last 4 years. I don't have a reason to believe that things are going to change in that area. You see what I'm saying? Now, what we also going to have is probably, again, number one offense in the league. You see, it's a seesaw. We probably still will have the number one offense in the league, but we probably still going to have the worst penalized team in the league. Still going to get these holding calls. Still going to get these false start calls. Still going to have Sam Williams running down and hitting folks when he need to be getting away from them. We still going to have offside penalties on defense, jumping the snap. We still going to have lining up pre-snap penalties. But can't line up right. I mean, this is what's been going on since he's been here. And it still ain't got fixed. And let me go ahead and say this right now. We still going to have this lie that's going to come up where Mike McCarthy going to say, we need to run the ball. We need to run the ball. We need to run the ball. And he ain't going to run it. Hello. I mean, you still going to have this shotgun, bagging the shotgun, hand the ball off whoever the running back is. You're going to run it straight up the middle. I mean, this is what we're going to have. But I guess the balance is for those that love Coach McCarthy, and I like him too, but, the balance is, hey, I'm going to have the number one offense in the league. See what I'm saying? So, because we've seen this movie. So we don't have to wonder. We don't have to wonder. We know what this movie is. It's not going to happen, Ernest. You just jumping in. There's a report that's out from Adam Schefter. Just happened maybe about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. Cowboys are going to keep Mike McCarthy. So I don't know if you knew that, but you know now. That's the report. And McCarthy is not going anywhere. So since he's not going anywhere, we need to, oh no. Kid Cowboy, you are 1,000% wrong on that. But that's not true. I can't let you slide with that one. Now, if you're just talking about coaches buying groceries, if you consider the coaches groceries, no, sir. You might, I'll let you have that one, but as far as players, no, sir. One thing that the Cowboys do right, Will McClay does an excellent job in the draft, always has. And then you can't argue with it unless you just want to argue. When you look at the roster, When you got a team full of Pro Bowlers and all pros everywhere, you can't argue with it. The roster is stacked. They just don't know how to win. I said all that to say this. Y'all can say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But you won't hear Super Bowl out of me because we're not on that level. We're not on that level. We're not on that level. And we truly are. If you've been with me for the last 3 years since I started doing this stuff, there was one statement that I always made. It fits again right here. We are truly in a position as a football team where the talent has to override the decisions of the front office and the coaches. In other words, we just got to get lucky. It's almost remind you of Purdy to Debo Samuel. Like he throws a 5-yard swing pass or a 5-yard slant, and it's supposed to get no more than probably about 8 yards. But because of the talent level of Debo, he hit his head on the goalpost with a 65, 70-yard touchdown. Purdy looks like Purdy just got 80 yards on his total. Look like he all pro. But the truth of the matter is you just threw a 5-yard pass. And Debo took care of the rest. That's where the Cowboys are. All these all pros, all these Pro Bowlers, somebody got to go beyond their level to make up for the front office decisions and the coaching. That's where we are. Are we good enough to do that? Yeah, for about 10 to maybe 11 games this year. Most people say 12. Is the talent good enough to get in the playoffs? Yes, because they do it. We don't have to wonder that. We see it. Yes, they're good enough. But is it good enough to get you past the wild card round or the division round? That's where the evidence says no. Because that's where the coaching comes in, because Sunday, Coach of Green Bay simply out-coached Dan Quinn, and whoever the defensive coordinator is for the Packers simply out-coached Mike McCarthy. This is where talent can't get you there. See, they got a good team plus great scheme from a coach. Us, we got great talent, but the scheme ain't there. See the difference? That's what happened when you get to this. Like everybody playing right now, no matter what the record is, they all have the same common denominator. You don't believe it? Let's go down the list. Houston, young as they are, but look who their coach is. Mingo Ryans, great coach. Buffalo, look at the coach. Great coach. Baltimore, John Harbaugh, great coach. I mean, just keep going. Tampa Bay, now Todd Bowles ain't gonna get no credit, but if you know anything about football, great coach. I don't have to say anything about Shanahan. We already know. Great coach, great scheme. The coach from Green Bay, great coach. Dan Campbell at Detroit, great coach. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to have a great coach plus the talent when you get to the division round. Is anybody gonna say that Mike McCarthy is a great football coach? He's a good football coach. I'm talking about these coaches like what you about to run into now, where if you don't have the right scheme, you're gonna get your brains kicked in. That's what you're saying. That's why we got our brains kicked in. Ain't nowhere in the world a Green Bay coach supposed to go 48 points against this defense. But you got out coached. So the question is, can Mike McCarthy between now and, game one, can he get better? Of course he can. But the question is, how much? Can you chop down these penalties fine? I mean, it's a 4-year problem. Good Lord. It's a 4-year problem. Can you do that? And then here's the last part. This is really going to make y'all mad. See, I just said after 4 years, you pretty much are what you are. And I was talking about the penalties then. He can't coach penalties. That's obvious. But the same thing now could be said about our quarterback. See, he's had 8 years. And after 8 years, I know what you're hoping for. But sooner or later, you got to call it like it is. Dak Prescott is what he is. And what is that? He is a very good quarterback that needs a lot of weapons in order to make him right. See, the mistake has been, and I'm done. I'm just going to call it like it is. See, the mistake has been mistaken identity. We played like it this year. Yes, he's an all-pro. He earned it. Yes, he led the league in touchdowns. Yes, he's a Pro Bowl quarterback. Yes, he's probably going to end up second in MVP vote. But the narrative has not changed in 8 years. At some point, we got to call it like it is. He's a very good quarterback, but in the biggest moment, we got an 8-year sample, y'all. And so the mistaken identity part is that, and see, a year like this year is what kind of feeds the narrative. Because you're going to say, well, he's a great quarterback. I mean, look, he got to be top 2 or 3 and everything and all the stats there. But, when it come down to this time right here, he looks very average. San Francisco a couple years ago, average. The game we had at home, he looked average. Game in San Francisco, playoff game, average. Game last weekend, it looked like the MVP to me. And so since you know that, and since you know he doesn't perform well in playoff time, or at least can't get you over the hump, and make no mistake, listen, make no mistake now. The defense, to me, is what lost that game. You gave up 27 points. However, part that was supposed to happen. All right, listen. When you're down 14-0, 21-0, if you're that guy, your team, you got to make a play to stop the bleeding. You can't add to the bleeding by throwing picks, which is what he did in San Francisco. Same thing. Actually, well, that pick 6 looked just like that pick 6 he made against San Francisco in the playoff game. It looks just like it. And so if we want to talk about, since McCarthy's coming back, y'all can go on, cry, get it out your system, because he'll be back when you finish crying. He'll be on the sideline. If you want to make it better, you got to make a decision to call Dak. He is what he is. Case in point, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is surrounded. He is surrounded by everything. And when he and all of them are not going to be off. all of them will not be off. Kyle Shanahan figured out is if he gonna throw the ball, we're gonna make some real precise type passes. Even though Brock Purdy threw the ball down the field a lot, but make no mistake about it, he's a short passing, quarterback. But guys break a lot of tackles, and they make him look like he really threw for 375 yards. See what I'm saying? But he surrounded him because they saying, you're going to have some real good numbers, Purdy, but we know you really not that dude. But you're a great enough dude to handle our offense, but you're really not that dude. You're not that dude. Your numbers say you one of those dudes, but we know that you really not that dude. Cowboys look at Dak Prescott and say, you are that dude. When the fan base, or most of the fan base, is saying, you're really not that dude. And when they figure that part out, then you finally gonna see something. See, when Brock Purdy don't have to do nothing. You know all Brock Purdy got to do to get the game back right? Just turn around and hand it to McCarthy. Play action gonna be open all day. George Kittle gonna be in the middle. You're gonna have one-on-one outside. Debo there. You just throw the ball in his area. Debo gonna make the play, or Ayuk. They gonna make the play because it's gonna be one-on-one. Because you listen to me, y'all. I hope y'all listening. It's gonna be one-on-one because they have to respect the running back and then the commitment to running the ball. That's why Brock Purdy is so good. Hope y'all just heard me right there. You got a running back that has to be respected. Automatically gonna bring an 8-man box. And then when he hides the ball on the play action, guess what? Everybody's one-on-one. You got Kittle going against a linebacker. Jake Ferguson going against a linebacker. Okay. You got Debo on the outside, one-on-one. You got CD Lamb going one-on-one on the outside. I hope y'all catching where I'm going. You got Ayuk on the other side. Well, guess what? One-on-one. Okay, that means you got, at least for now, Brandon Cooks going one-on-one. I think you'll take the chance with that. But if you ain't got no running game, that just run a rush 4, drop 7. In other words, what I'm trying to tell you is Dak ain't on that level where you can just line him up in the shotgun and say, hey, go carry us a promise. Like, he ain't never been that dude. You need to get Dak Prescott some weapons. And then he just might as well do what we think he really can do. Go get you a running back, a bell cow running back. I ain't talking about no 2-man system. We done tried that. Or if you're going to have 2 men, make sure those 2 dudes can hurt you. That's what we need. Dak will be a whole lot better if you balance him out. We've been saying it for years. I know I done said it. I don't want to see Dak Prescott throw the ball, man. Throw the ball 40 times a game. I don't want to see that. It's not gonna get it done. Huh? See what I'm saying? Dak need to be throwing the ball under 30 times a game. 30, no more than 30. And that running back need to be doing that. It's going to open everything up. But they refuse to do that. In other words, they got a reverse psychology. They say, let's throw the ball. Let Dak cook. And every year, it's the same movie. Same movie. Here's the movie of the Cowboys. First 4 games, start out maybe about 3-1. Or 2-2. Then right after that, that goes on or the offense gets real hot and they're going about a 5-6 game winning streak. Then everybody be saying, Dak. It happened every single year. Same movie. Get to November, December, right around Thanksgiving time. Cowboys still hot. Gonna lose a couple games here and there. Then you're gonna get to December. Gonna win about 2-2 maybe. Then in January, you don't know what team gonna show up in the playoff. Same move every year. With the same outcome. Dak Prescott did not have a great game. Defense let a team jump on them early. And we put ourselves in the hole. And Dak Prescott is not that type of quarterback. He's a front runner. He's not a come from behind type quarterback. That's the truth. It's the same movie. You got to change. You got to change the movie now. You got to change it. Now, we're going to find out real quick. Because, see, they're not going to sign Tony Pollard. So that's your running back one. Gone. You can't base everything on Rico Dial. So that ain't going to work. You sure can't base nothing off Deuce Vaughn. You touch him, he going down. So you ain't worried about. So we don't have no running backs. I mean, I like Rico. I do like Rico. I like Pollard. But Pollard's not going to be here. They're going to let him walk. So here's the question. We're going to be running back. I know what some of y'all done said. Eric Henry. That's what y'all said. Huh? First of all, now y'all going into other stuff that I really ain't want to talk about, but y'all know the free agent playbook, right? Y'all know the free agent playbook for the Cowboys. Number one, every free agent like Derrick Henry, the first team that's going to be called out is Dallas Cowboys. That's part of the playbook. Y'all ain't figured that out yet. Everybody say Dallas has interest. That's to be the first team. And then right after that, all they do is use the Cowboy name, gain leverage, and they go sign somewhere else. How many times have we seen that? So I'm not falling for that. Would I love to have somebody like Henry? Yeah, I love it. And he would answer a lot of problems. He would. He definitely would. He would answer a lot of problems. Between him and Rico next year, that would be awesome. I would love every second of it. It would answer a lot of problems. Because see, with a Derrick Henry, guess what that's going to produce on the defensive side? An 8-man box, which means one-on-one with CD, one-on-one with Jake Ferguson, one-on-one with Brandon Cooks. Good question. You're right, Talib. If he's used. Then that goes back to the coach. You're a fool if you don't use him. If you have him, you're a fool. I'm saying the pinball machine offense does not work. It ain't getting you nowhere. So this is stuff that the mistaken identity part has to be just totally killed. It has to be. Because it ain't getting you nowhere. You may have to go back to old school football, which is what I've been saying. Physical football. You may have to do all this now because your way ain't working. The spread offense, and we want to stress the defense. Well, you stress them, but you ain't stress them enough because they stress y'all and put y'all back on this couch at the house. Derrick Henry answers a lot of questions. He would. But we all know that Stephen Jones ain't going to pay him. He going to disrespect him. Y'all know that. You know the Cowboys don't sign big-name guys like that. Y'all know by now that the Cowboys sign free agents on day 5, day 6. Guys you ain't never heard of. Guys that just got through working at Toys R Us. Y'all know that by now. How many years have we seen this? We don't never get the big name folks. Some of y'all go, what about Gilmore? What about Cooks? We traded for them. We didn't get them in free agency. We traded for them. So you can eliminate that one. We don't make trades like that. I mean, we don't sign free agents like Henry. And don't even insult that man coming down and talking about, hey, well, the running back position is devalued and we can offer you $3 million. Man, look, Derrick Henry gonna turn right out of that building, get right back on that airplane, get on out of Dallas. You can't insult him like that. He's earned the right to get paid a whole lot more. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones particularly have proven that when you had the chance to go all in and get some impact players, free agents, they just let them walk right on by. Last year would have been smart, considering how this year ended. We begged for Bobby Wagner. Remember that? Remember how we begged for Bobby Wagner? Now you tell me if that would have worked out this year, since we don't have absolutely no linebackers at all. None. Except Clark, Damone Clark. That's it. That's all we had. That's all we had. We had no other linebacker. You put Micah back there every now and then, but that was it. Everybody else was a safety playing linebacker. You gonna say we had a chance to get Bobby Wagner last year. We were begging for it. Instead, they signed Malik Jefferson. Instead, they signed you let go of Harper. Remember that? You let go of Harper. Then you let go of Rashad Evans. You just cut him. He got one. And he smoked some weed or whatever the thing is. They just cut him, and then all you had was linebackers that play, safety, playing linebacker. Bobby Wagner would have answered a whole lot of questions. Just let him pass on by. See what I'm saying? These are the type of decisions that Stephen Jones would not make. I'm already convinced of that. I'm convinced of Jerry Jones letting his son pretty much handle that situation. Jerry may want it. He let Steven handle it. Steven ain't signing no big name free agent. So I'm gonna tell y'all now before 2-3 months get here and we talking, y'all can holler Derrick Henry all you want. Derrick Henry ain't coming. I can already tell you that. I know how Stephen Jones is. I've seen too much. I know how he operates. I know he gonna get the cheapest guys you can find, and gonna have guys that probably will play more special teams than they do actually the position that they really are. That's just how it is. We have seen it for years. I'm not even gonna get my hopes built up on that. And if y'all keep hanging with me, I'm gonna make sure y'all look. I know you want it, but it ain't gonna happen. What's up? It's just not the way of Steven and it's not happening. Would Derrick Henry settle a lot of things for us? Yes. Stephen Jones has a automatic almanac in his head about how he wants to pay players. It's just not happening. It really is what it is. You got to call it like it is. Look, you see, since McCarthy's coming back and he's back, you got to change something. And I ain't talking about Dan Quinn. If you change it, that's fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about looking at true player evaluation and stop acting like it's something that is not. I love Dak Prescott just like most of y'all are. But sooner or later, we got to tell the truth. We got too much of a sample now. We got too much of a sample when it comes to Dak Prescott. And y'all can get mad at me all you want. I don't care. It is what it is. Dak needs help. He can't carry a team. Not to the level where we want to go. Not to the level we want to go. Dak is going to have these games. Dak is going to have these games like he had on Sunday. He have about 2 or 3 of them every year. It's just the same like the one of them always in the playoffs. He had these type games, at least 3 of these type games every year. You got to call it what it is, man. You got to call it, hey, what's up, Gary? I saw Amp fella, man. What's up, Amp? I agree. That and what William just said here is true. Ain't no sense y'all talking about all, well, we don't need that. Well, you going to have them. Because of that right there, what you see. Got a no trade clause. He probably going to be the highest paid quarterback in the league. It's just the truth. But you said, just because it's the truth, you got to start looking at it like it truly is. Dak need. Let me make it plain. What I feel like will complete Dak. And God bless the guys that helped make this offense number 1 in the league. Number one. I can't bank on Tyron Smith. And I understand second team All-Pro. Once they figured out that little system, how to keep him on the field, it worked out for him. But the Cowboys have made a living over the years on hanging on to people too long. Sean Lee comes to mind. Jason Witten comes to mind. They finally let him go really, a long time, went to the Raiders and all that, but he should have been gone long before then. And Tyron Smith falls in that category too. See, sooner or later, you got to start getting this stuff right for the future. I mean, and I understand Tyron had a great year. I get it. And he did. So you got to start looking at it as it is instead of leaning, oh my God, when he plays, he's still one of the top 2 tackles in the league. Yeah, but the key phrase is not top 2. The key phrase is when he plays. That's the phrase you need to look at. When he gets hurt in practice, he misses the next 2-3 games at critical time. Can't have it. You need to look at that. Then here's the other thing you got to look at. God bless Mr. Cooks. Great year. But in order for Dak Prescott to be what I think he really needs to be, I need somebody over there that's maybe is not like CeeDee Lamb, but dang near close. And Brandon Cooks is not that. I need another number 1. I need a Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown type thing. That's what I need. Why do I need that? Because I got an emerging tight end in the middle who probably going to be a Pro Bowler this year once somebody don't go or whatever. I need that. But what's the real reason why? And then I need a true running back. Somebody that defenses have to respect by bringing in an 8-man box. And why do I need that? Because if you give me 2 guys outside, a 1A and a 1, a capital A, and then a 1 lowercase a as your wide receivers, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, like in the same lineup, and you give me a running back that got to respect, guess what's going to happen? Dak is going to clown. But not like throwing 40 times a game like he been doing. No. I'm not down Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard just not going to be here, David. played on the franchise tag, and he got 1,000 yards. He made a nice resume. We're just not going to pay him. And if we do get him, we still need a running back because he's really not a number one type running back. He's a complimentary running back. Now, I take Tony Pollard, but only if I get a real true number one running back. I would love to have that, but I know it's not going to happen. You're going to have to change something up because what you have done now is not working all the way to the level of talking about winning a Super Bowl. And like I said, y'all can say it. And I understand this is our organization. And I understand what the standard is. But that was the standard of, y'all really finna get mad. That was the standard of the 70s Cowboys. That was the standard of the 90s Cowboys. The standards of the 2000 and beyond Cowboys is, can we just make the playoffs? The standard of the Cowboys is now, can we just get 2 playoff wins in one season? We can't live off what Troy, Emmett, and Michael and Dion and Eric Williams and Ken Norton and Darren Woodson and all those guys did, and Jimmy Johnson. We can't live off that. They ain't got nothing to do with these Cowboys here. We were struck the 2000 and beyond Cowboys are just trying to make sure that they are relevant and make the playoffs. Forget the standard is not the Super. They don't know nothing about no Super Bowl. They don't know nothing about They don't know nothing about a Super Bowl. Nothing. Half of y'all in this chat right here, I'm 50 years old. Half of y'all in this chat right now was probably in preschool in 1995, if some of y'all even born. And it was so long ago you don't even remember it. You weren't even watching football back then. But see, Shane, and you're right. But see, this is what I'm talking about. Remember what I said earlier. You're absolutely right. But remember what I said earlier. That we are now, because you hire Mike McCarthy back, and we have a sample size on him as far as his coaching goes, we are now in a position where the talent of this team has to override the front office decisions and the coaching. That's where we are. We don't want the chain. We don't want the Belichicks. We don't want the Vrabels. We don't want Jim Harbaugh. We don't want that. They proved that to you just by saying we bringing them back. We don't want that. So what do you have to do? Since you can't get it, since you can't get it with the coaching way, and we already know what McCarthy brings to the table, then you got to load this team up with talent. Or that's what's going to get you over the hump. If some of y'all going to say, well, don't they already got the talent? Man, you said earlier got 9 All-Pros. And you say earlier got about 12, 13, 14 Pro Bowlers. Well, you're going to need 15. If you got 9 All-Pros, I need 11 then. 9 All-Pros ain't enough. You got the same coach now. You got the same coach. You got to make a philosophy decision. Is that good? Yes, he's good. But you got to make a decision. You need to take this ball out of his hands a little bit. Go get me a running back. I don't care what round he in. I don't care. Can he punish the defense? Do defenses have to respect him? Can you run a play other than run up the middle? Can you run a 2 tight end set? Can you even run a 3 tight end set? Can you do that? You got to do something different than just line up a shotgun, hand it to the running back up the middle for 2-3 yards. You got to since we got the same head coach, you got to do something. If it ain't the running back, then maybe it's the offensive line. Go get me some dogs, man, that's gonna play physical, not finesse. Go get me some dogs. I mean, you got to change, since we got the same head coach. You got to change something. If Dan Quinn is not there, or if Dan Quinn is there, ladies and gentlemen, can you go get me some linebackers and stop having my safeties playing linebacker? Can we stop playing big nickel when teams automatically see that and they say, well, we're just going to run it on y'all? That's all that happened. So when you get past the first line and you get to the line and get to the second level, and now you got a 320-some-odd pound man going against a safety that don't weigh no more than 220. What in the world you think gonna happen? Can you go get me some defensive tackles, bigger ones? Monty Smith at the training camp started off at 330-some-odd pounds. For some reason, he had dropped all the way to 307. He wasn't doing nothing at 330. He did his job. He clogged up the middle. Y'all want tackles and sacks. That's not his game. But 307 gonna get you pushed away. But remember, it's the same team that let go of Ridgeway and Quentin Bohanna. Just in case y'all ain't seen Quentin Bohanna in Detroit, Quentin is acting a fool. Ridgeway, who came from Arkansas, looked good at times in Washington. You don't think that would have helped? Since we got the same head coach, it remained to be seen about what's gonna happen with Quinn. Something has to change. Since we got the same head coach, something has to change inside. You got the same quarterback that y'all don't like, and you got the same head coach that you don't like. But both of them ain't going nowhere. So now what? Now you got to change. You got to see what's different. I mean, since we in the run it back situation, we're gonna run it back. Okay, all right. Look, if you're gonna run it back, oh my God, no, Dustin, no way, no way, no way, Dustin. Trey Lance, man, look, Trey Lance. Can you mind, Dustin, if we go back? Trey Lance, the 49ers moved heaven and earth to go get him. They moved up. They went ahead and got him. A couple years later, and part of that was because he was hurt. A couple years later, they let Sam Darnold become the number 2 quarterback, and the number 1 quarterback was Mr. Irrelevant in the draft. And he became, Trey Lance, the 3rd quarterback to a guy who was the last pick in the 7th round over the draft. He's not good enough to beat him out. And a guy who is a known turnover machine, Sam Darnold. And Trey Lance was behind him. You trade him to the Cowboys early in the year. You already knew he wasn't taking over Dak's spot, but at least you may have thought that Trey Lance could beat Cooper Rush at some point in the season to at least be the number 2 quarterback. Didn't happen. He's a guy who has not played a whole lot of football. And you're going to sit here and tell me Trey Lance needs to start? Why? What is he proving? What is he? And if you're talking about a monetary issue, then that's really the only argument that you may have is that you Trey Lance still on his rookie deal, and you can spend money elsewhere and surround Trey Lance with it. That works for Brock Purdy. But my question is, if you give him all that, are you trying to say that Trey Lance can be like Brock Purdy? I say no. Couldn't beat out Brock Purdy. Couldn't beat out Sam Darnold. Couldn't beat out Cooper Rush. Please. Let's see. There's something about Trey Lance that ain't nobody talking about. Could it be that really Trey Lance isn't that good? All right. No. The 49ers knew, Matt. No, sir. They traded away the whole franchise to go get him. The 49ers knew. Why you think they gave up on him so quick? His knee was fine. He came off the injury. Why you think he was a top 3 pick? Why you think the 49ers gave up on him? Just gave away for a 5th round pick. They just got what y'all want for him? We'll just offer y'all 5th round pick. Okay, God, he on his way. Could it be he just not that good? Huh? It is what it is, y'all. See, y'all, I don't know why y'all keep hollering them out, but at this point, y'all got Dak Prescott messed up too. Let me just go and throw that in again. See if you're gonna judge that, like I said, yes, he's 2-5. I get it. I don't know Trey Lance can win 9 games, kid Cowboy. I don't know that. You don't know that. You hope he can win 9 games. I don't know that. The 49ers say he ain't good enough to be on this team. After trading a 1st round pick, 2nd round pick, 3rd round pick, whatever they did for him. No, I don't know he can win 9 games or not. I don't know if he can read defenses. Do you know that? I don't know that. You don't know it either. All I know is they gave up his job. He came back from injury, he didn't have a job. They thought Sam Darnold was better than he was. Come on now. See this? You got to get a whole picture. Exactly. Dave say Sam Darnold sucks. Yeah, but Trey Lance can't beat him out. They gave him a FedEx sticker on his backside. Say, man, get on out of San Francisco. Get on out of it. RPO ain't you don't look. The man already been injured, kid Cowboy. Why you want him to just do it? This is not Fred, or what is it? South Dakota state where he come from. You can't let your quarterback get hit all the time in RPOs. No. If that's all what you're gonna do, I mean, because he can run the ball. Man, it's different about the arm strength. Of course he can throw. He got a rocket arm. But is he accurate? Can he read defenses? You gotta keep in mind, Shanahan is a quarterback guru. He shipped him out of there. Why? Shanahan ain't gonna never tell you, because he ain't gonna kill the kid in the press and all that. But trust me, you know it's a reason why he didn't stay with Frisco. A 1st round pick and got beat out by Mr. Irrelevant. Come on now. Sam Darnold? What? Better than? Come on now. Man, a rocket arm, please. Stop it. Stop it. Well, he might be a good quarterback, but guess what? You will never find out. And y'all gonna get excited next year because you will see Trey Lance in the preseason. Because Dak not gonna play no preseason game. If Cooper Rush is still there, those will be your 2 quarterbacks for those 4 or 5 preseason games, whatever it is. You'll get to see Trey Lance there. We'll see him all through preseason. You'll finally get to see him play against guys that just finished changing the oils in the trucks and guys that just just finished working in a warehouse somewhere, and you get to see it, and y'all gonna get fooled because he gonna look good against them and say, hey, y'all, Trey Lance will be seen next year, preseason, all the way through. And y'all can make your deal there. But even if he is there, Dak Prescott is going to be your quarterback for the next 5-6 years or so. And y'all know that. I don't even know why. I don't even know why we even having this discussion. But he needs, when I say he, just get back on track here. Mike McCarthy has to change something. My thing is saying you got to be honest. You got to say Dak is not, he's good, but he's not that dude. And since he's not that dude, in order for us to win 12 games and possibly just win 2 in the playoffs, we are going to have to change the way we do things because we done tried it this way. We need to surround him with even more weapons. It's at skill positions. The number 2 wide receiver need to be almost another number 1. Give him a running back. We got some real good guys. Somebody put it in the chat earlier, but I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. It was a very good one, and it's the truth. Let me find that comment. Dak ain't going nowhere. McCarthy will. I agree with you on that, Joe. Dak is not going anywhere. You don't find, oh Lord, why I do that? You don't find quarterbacks on trees. You talking about rebuilding? Man, I'm with you. I'm with you. You get Dak. Get Dak out of there if you rebuild him. If you talking about having somewhat of a chance to win, you're not getting rid of that. Here's what I was looking for. Greg said it. Y'all look at these free agents right here. This is what's on. This is what I'm talking about. Weapons. This is what I'm talking about right here. Y'all see all that? Covering my face. Look at this right here. Greg put this up here. All these guys are free agents. The ones you probably most looking in, all those 3 running backs is what would make you better immediately. Pick your choice. Eric Henry, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley. All right. Trent Brown is a Pro Bowl left tackle. Devontae David, a little older now, but he's still a good linebacker. Queen ain't going nowhere. Patrick Queen going to be with the Ravens next year. They're going to take care of him. Chris Jones, dominant defensive player of the year type defensive tackle. Here's what the problem is. It's 2 words. Stephen Jones. Do you really believe that Stephen Jones is going to give Derrick Henry the money that he deserves? Do you really believe Josh Jacobs is going to get the money he deserves? Do you really believe that he's going to pay Saquon Barkley? Do you really believe that he might, Devontae David might be all right? When you see all these names here, these are the names that Stephen Jones is allergic to. Because you have to pay these guys. That's why I say, oh, but those are the type of weapons that I'm talking about what you need. That's the kind of running backs that you need. That would help Dak out tremendously. You got to give him weapons. Brett, I don't know about that because if Tyron leaves, We're good. And beyond his leagues, we're good. Zach Martin still got gas in the tank. We're good. Hoffman and TJ Bass are good. Line ain't gonna be as bad as you think it's gonna be. Yeah. You give Dak a true running back. All those three names I just put up. Oh, perfect. Pick your choice. Flip a coin. It makes no difference. It would make Dak Prescott a whole lot better. It'll make out, but you got to do something different because the way, like I said, the way we've been doing it, don't work. Just don't work. It'll get you to the playoffs. Then it'll get you a FedEx ticket right on back out after week 1. Wild card, you go straight back to the house. That's what it's proven. Yeah, just exactly, Keith. Kill with Mr. Kill. I agree with you 1,000%. I just showed you just a big name that was there, Chris Jones. That's how you fix it. You fix it with talent. You don't fix it with rotational type players. You want to fix it and fix it quick? Give me some dogs. I don't want rotation. I don't want rotational players. I want dogs. You want to fix stuff quick? This is how you fix it. You want to go to the Super Bowl? You put dogs on your team. It's not hard. It's not a hard concept for me to figure out. You want to go to the Super Bowl? You make Super Bowl moves. You get a Chris Jones, that's called a Super Bowl move. If you're talking about going to get 3 pick-pack guys that just just finished playing the game on PlayStation, talking about, hey, come on, we're going to have a good rotation. Stop it. It's not going to get it done. It's not. You got to do something different. If you're talking about going to the next level. Now, if you're satisfied with 12 wins, 11 wins, possible division championship again, then you just keep doing what you're doing. But if you're talking about trying to get somewhere, you can't do what you're doing. And this is a fair statement by Shane. This is a fair statement. It's a fair statement. The reason why, because we have seen the movie. But my solution is this, Shane. You take the ball out of his hands. In other words, you stop trying to make him the MVP and hand that ball off. Let him throw the ball off. You become a dominant running team. And you got to try it that way because trying to make him the MVP, we see how that turned out. So you got to change it. We done had enough sample size of trying to make Dak the MVP, 30 plus touchdowns a year, 4,000 yards every year, highest quarterback rating. We done seen that movie way too many times. All right, enough is enough. It ain't getting you nowhere. Change it. That's why I was saying identity crisis. You got to look at it as it is. You got to look at it as it really is, not what you want it to be, but as it is. And say, okay, Dak is good, but he ain't as good as we've been saying. Once you get that reality there, then you can do something. Okay, then you start asking questions. Okay, but if he's not that, then how can we make the team better? To surround him and put the ball in other folks' hands. It looked like Cam Newton was right. Y'all remember all that controversy he had said? He called Dak out, say he was a game manager. See, that's what I'm talking about. Cam was right. Most Cowboy fans want to say Dak is elite. No. Call it like it is. But that, I get it to lead. But we can't, ain't no sense talking about that. Because they're not bringing in another coach. It's McCarthy. And he got to change something. If not, like I said, if Dak could get another 30 touchdown season, he'll have another 4,000 yard season. And he'll have a nice quarterback rating again. And you'll probably have a ticket to go back home after the wild card game. That's what the movie says now. We done had, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm saying we done seen this movie for about at least the last 3 years. The movie ain't changed. It's the same movie with the same ending. I ain't talking about the loss. I'm talking about the style of play. Cowboys get way behind in playoff games. The defense don't show up, get a whole lot of points scored on them. Dak Prescott brings us back a little bit, and they all end up being empty calorie yards. The game last week was really 48-16, and then they started playing off Dak, and they end up scoring 32 points. And now, you look at Dak, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And somebody gonna say, well, Dak had a good game. No, he didn't. This is what we do every year. They come out flat. They come out very flat. They get scored upon, get hit in the mouth, and it usually take them 2 or 3 quarters to finally catch up. But this week here, it didn't happen. It's the same movie. So guess what? You got to change the way you act. You got to try that. Yeah. It's a fair statement, Shane. You say I'm asking for the impossible. Well, if he coaches the same way again, guess what? You truly are in it. Well, that's why I said. I'm looking at it from different angles. I'm looking for solutions. Since we're going to bring Mike McCarthy back, then I got to look at it and say, okay, he back. All right. 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. Okay. All right. Now, how do we get over the hump in the playoffs since we're going to make the playoffs with a 12-5 record? The only solution I see is because the coaching is going to be the same. Everything's going to be the same. It then becomes a talent issue for me. I need to have as much talent on this team, killers, as possible, so that their talent will override the usual. And we've seen it happen before. That's all I can come up with. Because I already know what Mike McCarthy going to do. I know his playbook. All I need is just this 1 year. It looks very similar to Kellen Moore type plays. It looks very similar. Very. So I already know what to expect from Mike McCarthy. I watched him for 17 games this year. That's all I need to see. I know how he plays. If you had money, you'll bet San Francisco's going to beat us next year. Wherever we play. They'll use that as a measuring stick game like they did this year. Say, hey, we need to get better. We're going to get better. We're going to get better. You need to get a defensive coordinator in here that knows how to play an offense that runs motion type offense. That's always on the move pre-snap. You need to get a coordinator in to know how to do that. Dan Quinn wasn't too good with teams that moved a whole lot before the snap. Motions and all that kind of stuff. Running across to the other side. Dan Quinn got 8 alive with that all year. You got to get a defensive coordinator to know how to play that. Because scheme counts. That's if Dan is not here. which I don't think he will be. All right, we done been on for an hour and 30 minutes. Today was just to give the breaking news from what Adam Scheffner said. Those that are here wondering why we're talking, Adam Scheffner put out a report about an hour and 40 minutes ago that said that Coach McCarthy will stay as the Dallas Cowboy head coach. If you have Twitter, go to Adam Scheffner. Only reason why I'm here because I put stock into what Scheffner says. Pretty much whatever he puts out, that's what happens. Obviously, Scheffner has inside information in every locker room in the league, and he usually is 100%. And if he's not 100% accurate, he's about 98.9. So you'll hear that probably. They're putting it out there. It is what it is. Bill Belichick will not be here. Jim Harbaugh will not be here. Vrabel will not be here. Let it go, Cowboy Nation. We got a whole few months to go before the draft get here. I heard today is 99 days to the draft. So that dream, let it go. Jerry has made his decision. Whether you feel like it's right or wrong, most of us feel like it's wrong. But what else do you expect? You know they're going to do exactly the opposite of what the fans think and what the national media is putting out there. The national media were putting it out there first. They had the candidates up there. Cowboys weren't even thinking about that. Am I doing a free agency show or draft show? I'm not doing a draft show because I ain't finna sit here on this TV, on this computer for no 5-6 hours. I might. With the network that I'm going to, though, I might be at the draft. We're already credentialed for the Super Bowl, the NGBN.TV network, where I just became a part of. We are already credentialed for the Super Bowl, so we will have a table at Press Row for that. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because I'm quite sure if we're credentialed for the Super Bowl, I'm quite sure that we probably be able to get in for the draft as well. So I may, if the draft is there, I may be at the draft doing it. But if not, I guess I'll be, I might do it. I don't know. Yeah, we all thought that he'd be gone. Most all of us thought McCarthy would be gone, but he's not. But I told y'all a couple of shows ago, I know I said it. I said I wouldn't be surprised if nothing changes. Because I know how Jerry thinks. Remember now, these same folks that want to prove to everybody that their way is the best way. That's what they do. They want to prove everybody wrong and show everybody that we know what we're talking about. We know what we're doing. So I'm quite sure McCarthy won't get an extension. This will be his last year. It's a prove it type year. My only question is, okay, you want to prove it? What is the standard? Please stop saying Super Bowl. Fans need to stop saying Super Bowl. We need to crawl before we walk. Like I said, the standard of the 70s Cowboys and the 90s Cowboys, you can't put that standard on this team. They don't know how to win yet. They're babies. They're trying to learn how to win. They ain't nowhere near them guys. 70s and the 90s Cowboys, no. That's what the problem is. The standard for the Super Bowl with them. Ain't nobody since 2000, since Romo started playing quarterback, that folks said, well, the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl this year. You had a good shot this year if you want to say that. And folks started somewhat calling, but after seeing how we got destroyed by the 49ers earlier in the year, that died down. Ain't nobody thinking that the Cowboys going to win the Super Bowl. The last 25, 26 years, ever since the Romo era, Jason Garrett era, Super Bowl, and Dallas Cowboys just don't mix. I don't know why everybody keeps saying, let's the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl. Look, Let's just win the wild card game first. I mean, come on. Can we just get it take you, unless you got a home field advantage, you got to win at least 3 games to win the Super Bowl. Can we just win one? Crawl before you walk. Crawl. We crawling right now. We ain't crawling. We still in the bed. We still in the bed. We standing up, looking between the bars on the bed like a baby. We ain't got on the floor yet. We don't know how to win yet. We don't know how. I don't know why everybody keeps saying Super Bowl. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. The standard for the Super Bowl with one of the teams I hate the most is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even though we know the Pittsburgh Steelers was not going to win the Super Bowl, but guess what? They've been in the playoffs for the last 15 years straight. So when you start making the playoffs on a consistent basis, guess what? The expectation is we trying to win it all. That's not us. We got to get over this humble of getting embarrassed on games that we supposed to win. The Arizona Cardinal type game. We got to learn how to, this is what we're talking about. We're not all that, y'all. We're not all that. I know the record 12-5, but we're not all that. We don't know how to win. We don't know how. It ain't just started. Been this way. But at the end of the year, guess what? We're going to say, look, the strange dichotomy is this, and then I'm done. The strange dichotomy is every single year, we don't win them, but guess what happened? We send at least 7, 8 guys to the Pro Bowl every year. And this year was just incredible. 9 All-Pros. 9? And this is what we got out of it. 9. Double-digit Pro Bowlers this year. There's nowhere in the world we don't supposed to be playing this weekend. I'm telling y'all. It's ridiculous. But it is what it is. I'm done because I'm tired. I would open the line, but I'm tired. I'll come and hang with you guys. Who knows? Might be tomorrow. Y'all turn on those live notifications. Again, Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Run it back. Run it back. Run it back. That's where we at. Run it back. It is what it is, y'all. Run it back. It is what it is. I'm numb. I'm gonna be numb all next season. Cowboys made me stop saying we gonna win. I told you that. I just say we should win. I ain't say we gonna win. I ain't got no predictions and all. I'm not doing it because I'm very numb for what happened last week. That ain't leaving. I don't know what we gonna do. But guess what? We'll be here for it if the Lord allows me to live. I'll be right here going through game after game with y'all again. We'll talk more about this. Look, what else we got to talk about? I'm going to the NBA in a minute. When I get on to the NGBN network, my first show is going to be on the 29th. I'll be talking more variety of sports. I'll still be talking Cowboys, but I got to do a little bit more than the Cowboys. I got to talk about who in the playoffs by then. Super Bowl predictions, Super Bowl breakdown, and all that kind of stuff. It's going to burn me up to talk about teams that I don't like. Talk about basketball, how bad my Lakers are looking. I talk about all that stuff. Should I be talking about golf, anything, when I get to there? So appreciate you guys hanging with me. Appreciate all y'all. It is. All right, I'm done. Turn on those live notifications where y'all, and since we done lost everybody, there's only y'all left that's here. I guess I ran them off. I'm not optimistic enough. It is what it is. I need all y'all that's here, still here. Hit that like button for me. I forgot to say it earlier. So this will be good enough. I don't know how many I got in here, but whoever's in here, I need everybody, if you don't mind, YouTube or Facebook. I need at least 15 from every person here. So if you're on YouTube, hit that heart button, smash it. I just did 15 now. That only took about 4 seconds. If you're on Facebook, do the same thing. Hit that like button for me if you don't mind. Hit that like button. Everybody give me about 15 though. And I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. All right. I hope some of y'all did it. I hope y'all did. All right. I'm out. We'll see y'all maybe tomorrow. Just turn those live notifications on. All right. Appreciate y'all. This has been the one and the only, the Big Time Show.